Good morning, children. Now, last year, ninth standard, you have come across irrational numbers. Do you remember? Root 2, root 3, root 5, they were all irrational numbers. Do you remember the definition of irrational number? Irrational number, we have defined that they cannot be expressed in the form of P upon Q. Okay, rational number can be expressed as P upon Q, where generally P upon Q form will be co-prime numbers, means they will have one and only one as a factor. They will not have any other factors in between them. Such numbers you call as rational numbers, P upon Q, which can be expressed in the form. But irrational number cannot be expressed as P upon Q. Okay, ninth standard, you have already learned this particular matter. So, there we have learned about marking the root 2, root 5, root 13 on the number line. Remember or not? So, now here this year we'll try to prove that the numbers are irrational. For that, you are given the theorem over here. The theorem is, let P be a prime number, and if P is dividing A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. This proof of theorem is not to be learnt. Okay, but based on this proof, you will have sums wherein you will have to prove that a particular number is irrational. As it is given, root 2 is irrational. This is to be proved. So that is proved by making use of this particular theorem. Is that clear? So how to prove the sums on this type? Remember, if it is a prime number, what? If the number is a prime number, then its square root will be, the square root of that prime number will be an irrational number. That is what you have to prove. So sums of this type, let us take it up. Here you are having theorem 1.4, which has been proved. So your sums will be based on theorem 1.4. Root 2 is an irrational number that is to be proved. So how will you prove this particular statement? Let us take up the sums in detail. Okay. Now, you find that you assume root 2 is an irrational number is to be proved. So this is an indirect way of proof. So what do? You are assuming that let root 2 be a rational number. Assumption, supposition. Okay. You are supposing that root 2 is a rational number. Prove kya karna hai? Root 2 is irrational. And what are you supposing? Root 2 is irrational. Sorry, you have to prove root 2 is irrational, and what are you supposing? Root 2 is rational. If it is rational, then as I mentioned earlier, 9th standard you have learned rational number can be expressed as P upon Q form, where Q is not equal to 0. So here instead of P upon Q, they have taken R upon S. Is that clear? So it is root 2, like you are assuming that it is equal to R upon S, where S cannot be 0. And they have only 1 as a common factor, which means they are co-prime number. Okay, you are assuming that it's a rational number, say R upon S. If you don't want to take R upon S, you can also take it as A upon B. Here A upon B is taken. Either you take R upon S, you take P upon Q, you take A upon B, that doesn't make any difference. You are saying that when you are taking it in the ratio of something upon something, that is a rational number. That is what you are assuming. So here you are assuming let root 2 equal to A upon B, where A and B are co-prime numbers. In that case, what will be the value of A? It will be root 2 multiplied by B. So you will get this statement. Okay. So if you square both the sides, you will get 2B square is equal to A square, because root 2 is given. So to remove that root, you square both the sides. This statement tells you that 2 divides A square. Correct? That means 2 will also divide A. If it is dividing A square, it will divide A. Am I right or not? Okay. Now you assume that let A is equal to 2C for some integer C. A value can be, it's not that A value is only 2B square. Isn't it? It can be any other value also, because we don't know what actually A and B are. They are simply integers. So here we are assuming let A value be another value to C, where C is also an integer. So how will you continue further? It means that the A value, when you are saying it is 2C, you substitute. Where are you substituting this value, You are substituting in the part. You are substituting. Earlier you said that. What did you say earlier? A is equal to, just a minute, let me show it to you. A is equal to 2c, you're assuming. What did you get over here? You have got A is equal to here. A square is equal to 2b square you have got, isn't it? So in this part you are going to substitute. What are you going to substitute? A is equal to 2c. So A is equal to, you have earlier written that it is equal to 2b square. This is written over here. And now you are assuming what? A value you are assuming to be 2c. So you put 2c whole square is equal to 2b square. So you will get 4c square is equal to 2b square, or 2c square, sorry, I made a mistake, I erased the whole thing, I'll rewrite it again. A square is equal to 2b square, and A value is 2c, whole square is 2b square. 4c square is equal to 2b square. Therefore, 2c square will be equal to b square. What does it mean? By this statement, you are trying to say that the number b square is equal to 2c square, the number 2 is dividing b square, or 2 is dividing b. Clear or not? Earlier what did you say? 2 is dividing A. Now we are saying 2 is dividing B, which means A and B are having 2 as a common factor. But what did you assume earlier? A and B are co-prime number. So it is contradicting the statement. Contradict means it is viprit, against. It is against the statement that A and B are co-prime number. Now we are getting A and B are having another common factor 2. If they are co-prime, then they should have only common factor 1. So therefore the assumption, what was your assumption? Root 2 is rational. That is a wrong assumption, and hence root 2 will be irrational. This is how you prove the sum. Got this theorem? So based on this, you are having one more proof, that is example root 3 is irrational. So let us take up this example. Root 3 is irrational means first thing what should you do? You will assume that root 3 is rational. आप assume कर रहे हैं, suppose कर रहे हैं. So let that rational number be expressed in the form of A upon B, where B is not 0 and A and B are co-prime number. Co-prime means what? Having 1 as a common factor. Correct? So therefore A value will be B into root 3, or A square is equal to 3B square, because you're squaring both the sides. Correct? This statement means A square is divisible by 3. Okay? Achha. Now we continue further. What do you understand now next? You assume A is equal to another value 3c, where c is an integer. So if you substitute this value A is equal to 3c in this statement, A square is equal to 3b square, you will get 3b square is equal to 9c square. That is B square is equal to 3c square. Which means B square is divisible by 3 or B is divisible by 3. See, earlier you said A square is divisible by 3. Okay, that is A is divisible by 3. ये आपने पहले कहा. Correct? Now you are saying B square is divisible by 3. So it means that A and B are having 3 as a common factor. Which means A and B are not co-prime. आपने suppose किया they are co-prime. Now you are saying they are not co-prime because they have another factor 3 in between them, common. Therefore your assumption root 3 is rational is wrong. And therefore root 3 is irrational. Is this point clear or not? So these are the two sums in which you have the square root of prime number is irrational to be proved. So you can be given any question, children. You may be asked to prove root 17 is irrational, root 5 is an irrational number, or say root 11 is irrational, root 29 is irrational. Okay, any prime number square root, if it is to be proved irrational, the sum is to be worked out by this particular method, by theorem 1.4 method here to work out. Is this point clear? Okay. Now, continue further, slightly more complicated form. What is that? Example 5.3. Sorry, example 10. 5 minus root 3 you have to prove it is irrational. So if you have to prove this is irrational, what will you do? Again you assume that let this be a rational number. Indirect way of proof mein hamesha you are assuming what you know it is wrong. So you are assuming that. So 5 minus root 3 is rational, you are assuming. And if it is rational, it should be expressed in the form of 5 minus root 3 is equal to a upon b, where a and b are co-prime numbers and b is not equal to 0. Okay? So this is the statement which you get. 5 minus a upon b is equal to root 3. How did you get that? The root 3 is transferred. Okay? The root 3 is taken on the other side and a upon b you are bringing on this side. So 5 minus a upon b is root 3. Clear? So root 3 will be equal to 5 minus a upon b. This part you take LCM and hence you will get this statement. Okay, 5b minus a upon b. Fine? Okay. Now in this particular part, which part? In this particular statement, 5b minus a upon b, all the terms are integers. b, a are integers. Therefore 5b minus a upon b will be an integer. Okay, will be a rational number. And hence root 3, this 5 minus a upon b will be a rational number. If this 5 minus a upon b is a rational number, or 5b minus a upon b is a rational number, that means the root 3 should also be rational. But that is against the statement. Against which statement? Theorem 1.4. Because in theorem 1.4 you have learned square root of prime number is irrational. So your assumption is wrong, incorrect assumption, which means 5 minus root 3 is irrational. Did you understand? The next term, next example. 3 root 2 is irrational prove करना है तो आप क्या करोगे? You will assume that 3 root 2 is rational. If it is rational, let it be equal to a upon b, where a and b are co-prime and b is not equal to 0. That means root 2 will be a upon 3b. Okay? So, in this particular statement, a and b are integers. Correct? A and b are integers. So, a upon 3b will be a rational number. And a upon 3b is equal to root 2. Therefore, if a upon 3b is rational, then root 2 should also be rational. But that is contradicting the fact that root 2 is irrational. Therefore, 3 root 2 is irrational. Is that point clear? Now, we'll move into exercise 1.3 and try to solve the sums which are based on these examples that I have explained just now. Now, in exercise 1.3, we'll take up the sums after understanding the examples which I explained just now. The question says that prove that root 5 is irrational. Now, whenever you have a single number to be proved that it is irrational, root 5, root 3, root 2, root 11, root 13, like that any number is to be proved that it is irrational, then you have to follow as we have understood in the example. So, root 5, we first of all, we don't know whether it is rational or irrational, isn't it? You have to prove it is irrational. So, we assume, it is an indirect way of proof. You assume that it is a rational number. So, when you assume it's a rational number, rational numbers can be expressed in the form of a upon b. Am I right? You have learnt it in 9th standard, remember? So, root 5, you are assuming it is rational such that it is a upon b. And where a and b are co-prime. What do you understand by co-prime? Co-prime stands for if they have only one as a common factor. There is no other factor common in between them. That is called co-prime number. So therefore, a upon b you are assuming is a rational number. Sorry, you are assuming root 5 is a rational number such that it can be expressed as a upon b, where a and b are co-prime and b cannot be 0. Isn't it? Denominator cannot be 0. This you have learnt in 9th standard. So now if you cross multiply, you will get root 5b is equal to a, or 5b square is equal to a square, means you have squared both the sides. So this is one statement. From this statement you come to know that a square is divisible by 5, or 5 is a factor of a. Is that point clear? Means 5 you can, this a can be divided by, a square can be divided by 5. That is the statement you have got. Clear? But now if you assume a to be a number, say 5c, where c is another number. Is that point clear? You are supposing a to be a number, say 5 times another number. This number can be 10, 25, 35, any digit you can imagine. So suppose you are assuming that a is equal to 5c, where c is an integer. A and b are already integers, and now we are assuming that a value is equal to 5 times another number. Okay. So then, if you substitute this value in the first statement, a square is equal to 5b square, if you substitute a is equal to 5c, you will get 5b square is equal to 25c square. Why? it is a square and a value is 5c. So 5b square will be 25c square, or b square will be 5c square. 5 comes out common. Clear? So now from this statement you come to know that 5 is a factor of c is divisible by b is divisible by 5. Is that point clear? You can divide b by 5. Now earlier you said that a is divisible by 5. Now we are saying b is divisible by 5, which means 5 is a factor of a and b. From the second and third statement, what do you get? This is the third statement. From second and third statement you come to know that a and b is having a common factor 5. But what did you assume earlier? A and b are co-prime. Isn't it? You assumed a and b are co-prime. If they are co-prime, what does it mean? They have no other factor other than 1. And here you are saying that 5 is a factor over there. Which means your assumption is wrong. What did you assume? Root 5 is a rational number. So that assumption is wrong. That means root 5 is an irrational number. So this is said to be an indirect way of proof. Is this clear or not? Same way you have to take up the next number. Okay. Now next number, since it is not a single digit, here it's a single digit, isn't it? Root 5. So in place of root 5, if I ask you root 7 is an irrational, it is an irrational, you have to prove. Same method you have to work out. Okay, wherever you have written 5, there you replace by root 7 and 7. Is this clear? If it is root 13 to be proved, again the same method. This format is for, this method is worked out based on the theorem which is given to you, which I told you, 1.3 theorem, that if there is a prime number, then you will work it out by this method. So root 13, 11, 17, all these are prime numbers. So you will work it out all by this particular method, that is by question number 1. Now we'll take up question number 2. It says that prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is an irrational number. So again here you assume that let 3 plus 2 root 5 be a rational number. If it is a rational number, then it can be expressed as a upon b, where a and b are integers and they are co-prime. Okay, b is not equal to 0. Denominator should not be equal to 0, remember that. So a and b are assuming are co-prime numbers and they are integers such that b is not 0. So 3 can be transferred, so you will get 2 root 5 is equal to a upon b minus 3. Now LCM over here will be a minus 3b upon b. Clear? So if I want to find out root 5, the 2 will be taken and hence it will become a minus 3b upon 2b. Now in this particular part, a and b you have assumed to be integers, isn't it? So if you have an integer solution upon an integer solution, you are going to get integer upon integer, means this full thing will be a rational number. Now it is mentioned that a minus 3b upon 2b is equal to root 5, means if this part is rational, then this should also be rational, isn't it? So here I have written that a and b are integers, so this is a rational number and hence root 5 is also rational. But that contradicts the statement, because you have already proved by theorem that the prime number will always be the square root of prime number will be a irrational number. So that will be contradicting the statement and hence your assumption is wrong, and hence this particular statement, which statement? 3 plus 2 root 5 is an irrational number. Is that point clear? Therefore 3 plus 2 root 5 is an irrational number. Understood or not? Same way, the third question. Third question, there are 3 sums over here. First sum over there is 1 upon root 2, you have to prove it is irrational. So again over here you assume this to be a number a upon b, such that a and b are co-prime and b is not equal to 0. Okay. So you inverse 1 upon root 2 is a upon b, so root 2 will be b upon a. You are inversing both the sides. Now a and b are integers, so ratio of integers will definitely be a rational number, isn't it? So b upon a becomes a rational number. Now this is rational and it is equal to root 2, means root 2 should also be rational. So root 2 is rational, but that will be a false statement, because root 2 is again what? Square root of a prime number. So according to the theorem it should be irrational. So if root 2 is irrational, then means if this assumption is not correct, then what? If the statement is incorrect, that means your assumption is wrong. Assumption is that this is a rational number. A upon b is a rational number, हमने assume किया है. So that will be wrong and hence 1 upon root 2 will be irrational. Clear? Next sum, that is sum number 3rd. Sum number 3rd says that, sum number 4th says that 7 root 5, that is second part. In third question, second part is 7 root 5. You have to prove that it is irrational. So here again, what will you do? 7 root 5, you are assuming it to be a rational number a upon b. If it is rational, you can express it in a upon b. So this is an assumption. And a upon b are such that they are co-prime and b is not equal to 0. Okay. So root 5 will be 7. You take on the other side, so a upon 7b. But a and b are integers, so a upon 7b fully will be a rational number. And this part is equal to root 5, so root 5 will also be a rational number. But that is again against the theorem. Theorem says that square root of prime number is a irrational number. So therefore this assumption is wrong, or the statement is incorrect. Therefore 7 root 5 is irrational. Clear? The last sum in this exercise is sum number 5. 6 plus root 2 is equal to a upon b. You have to assume again over here, okay, that it is rational. So when you assume that it is rational, the a upon b is such that they are co-prime numbers where b is not equal to 0. So 6 you take on the other side, so a upon b minus 6 you will get. LCM will give you a minus 6b upon b. Now in this particular part, a and b are integers which you have assumed they are co-prime numbers. So therefore a minus 6b upon b, the complete thing will become a rational number. But this is equal to root 2, that means root 2 will also be rational, which is incorrect statement, or which is a false statement, and hence this will be a false statement. Root 2 is rational wala statement false ho jayega, because theorem says that square root of prime is irrational. Therefore your assumption that 6 plus root 2 is rational is false. So 6 plus root 2 will be irrational. Did you understand this entire exercise? So this is how you solve the prove that sums of exercise 1.3. Clear? Now the last exercise I will take up in the next video. Thank you.